Imagine waking up one day, opening your banking app, and realizing that the money you saved your entire life barely covers 1 month of rent. Just 1 month. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now to millions of Americans. And the numbers are so frightening that most people would rather not look, but you are going to look. Because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening to American savings in 2026 and what to do before it is too late. I am going to show you 3 things today. First, why American savings are collapsing in silence. Second, the mistakes that millions of people are making right now without even realizing it. And third, what the smartest people are doing differently while everyone else is sleeping. Stay until the end, because the last part is the most important and the least obvious. Let's start with a number, 3.9%. That is the personal savings rate in the United States at the beginning of 2026. To put that in perspective, in 2020, that rate reached 33%. 33% to 3.9%. In less than 6 years, Americans simply stopped saving money. But how? Why? That is where the story gets interesting and more than a little disturbing. After the pandemic, the government injected trillions of dollars into the economy, stimulus checks, benefits. People had money to spare. Savings accounts were full. It seemed like this country had finally learned how to save. But then came inflation, and inflation did not come alone. It brought high interest rates, skyrocketing rent, and a grocery bill that feels like a bad joke. The average American started using their savings just to pay for the basics, not luxury, the basics: rent, food, gas. And now, in 2026, half of American households have less than $500 saved for emergencies. Think about that for a second. $500. One medical emergency, a broken down car, 1 month without a paycheck, and the money is gone. But here is what very few people are talking about. This savings collapse is not just inflation's fault. There is something deeper going on, something behavioral, something that is destroying American finances from the inside, and that most people don't even realize they are doing. I will show you in a moment, but first you need to understand the true size of this problem. The United States is carrying record consumer debt in 2026. Credit cards, over $1.2 trillion. Car loans, $1.6 trillion. Student loans, nearly $1.8 trillion. These numbers are so large they feel abstract. So let me say it differently. The average American owes more than they earn in 4 full months. 4 months of salary in debt. And default rates are rising, slowly, silently, but rising. You know what that means? It means a growing part of the American population is not just without savings, they're sinking. And now we get to the mistake I mentioned earlier, the behavioral mistake that is destroying entire generations of American savers. It has a name. It's called lifestyle creep. Here's how it works. You earn more, and instead of saving the difference, you spend more. New car, bigger apartment, subscriptions, delivery every week, clothes, electronics. Every salary increase becomes an expense increase. And at the end of the month, the balance is the same, sometimes lower. A 2025 Bankrate study found that nearly 60% of Americans who received a raise in the last 2 years did not increase their savings at all. Nothing. The extra money simply vanished into their lifestyle. But here's what worries me even more heading into 2026. The Federal Reserve. Throughout 2022, 2023, and part of 2024, the Fed kept interest rates extremely high to fight inflation. Did it work? Partly, but the side effects were brutal. Expensive mortgages, expensive credit, expensive debt. And now, with the Fed cutting rates, a lot of people are celebrating. They shouldn't be, because lower interest rates mean your savings account will earn significantly less. Those 4 and 5% yields on high-yield savings accounts, they're going to fall, and the American who doesn't reposition now will lose purchasing power without even noticing. We're at the halfway point, and I need you to pay close attention to what comes next, because up until now, I have shown you the problem. But what are the smart people actually doing? What separates those who will survive 2026 financially from those who will collapse? 3 decisions, simple but counterintuitive. Decision number 1, stop saving just to save. Wait, sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. Keeping money in a checking account in 2026 with no strategy is almost the same as losing money. With inflation still above the 2% target and yields falling, idle money loses real value every single month. What the smart people are doing is moving into short-term treasury bills, inflation-protected funds like TIPS, Treasury inflation-protected securities, and high-yield savings accounts that still compete with the market. This is not about being aggressive, it's about not being naive. Your money needs to work, even if just to not fall behind. Decision number 2, build a second financial pillar. Here's something most Americans don't understand. Traditional savings were designed for a world that no longer exists. One job, one salary, one guaranteed retirement. That world is gone. In 2026, the Americans with the greatest financial stability are those who have more than one source of income, even a small one: freelance work, rental income, a side business, dividends from modest investments. The goal is not to get rich, it's to not depend on a single rope, because when that rope snaps, and for many people in 2026 it is already snapping, there is no safety net. Decision number 3, the most powerful and the least popular. Treat your savings like an account that doesn't exist. Let me explain. Most people save what is left at the end of the month. What is left at the end of the month? Almost nothing. Those who truly build wealth do the opposite. They save first, automatically, before they ever see the money. If you never saw the money, you won't spend the money. Sounds simple, and it is, but that is exactly where 90% of people fail. Setting up an automatic transfer to a separate account on payday is the #1 financial habit among Americans with more than $100,000 saved, according to a 2025 Fidelity study. It's not income that separates those who build wealth from those who don't. It's automation and long-term discipline. Now I want to close with something that will stay with you. 2026 is not a normal year for the American economy. We have a presidential election reshaping fiscal policy. We have an entire generation of baby boomers retiring and withdrawing from accounts at the same time. We have Generation Z entering the market with a completely different relationship with money. And we have a Federal Reserve navigating uncertain territory. There is no autopilot here. Whoever does not take active decisions about their money in 2026 will let the market make those decisions for them, and the market is not your friend. So here's the question. Will you be one of the people who wakes up in 2027, looks at their balance and thinks, how did this happen? Or will you be one of the people who looks back and says, I saw this coming and I prepared? The difference is not luck. The difference is information and action. You already have the information. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see this. And the next video, I will show you exactly how to build a saving strategy from scratch in 2026, even if you're starting with very little. Don't miss it. Click the bell icon and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.